That's why in this verse it says that. And I love the difference between testing and trials. I love that it's translated this way into something different. Because when we're tested, we don't always feel loved. But God's like, nope, that settled, you're loved. And when we're in trials, we tend to get overly defensive, right? We tend to get like, I've got to defend for myself, speak for myself. When we think trials, we think the judicial system, I'm on trial, therefore I've got to defend myself. But I would say to you, think of it more as a gauntlet of faith that you can pass that God knows you can. We can get defensive. We can think for no good reason this trial is happening. But I would say to you, there is always a good reason, a right purpose for it. And doing the right thing and responding biblically to life is super hard to do. There's no question about that. As we study the pages of the Bible, we see good, godly people wrestling with their faith, trying to figure out what is God all about, what is his calling, creative purpose for my life, how do I live that out, and they struggle. But doing the right thing and having a biblical response and a perspective to the world in front of you will help you to begin and will help you to be able to understand that takes place. Let me remind you of the biblical truth of Romans chapter 8, verse 31. Right? Remember, you are beloved by God when you face trials and temptations. Christians, when you are saved, you know that you are loved. But it also tells us in Romans 8:31 this, if God is for us, then who can be against us? When we face tests, when we face trials, even if they're meant to bring us down and to try to keep us from God, we know that if God is for us, who can be against us? And God is trying and is calling and has created so that we might draw closer to him. That's a great truth in it. So beloved, do not be surprised in verse 12 at the fiery trial when it comes on you to test you as though something strange were happening to you. And if someone tries to offer you a Christian faith to where everything is easy and smooth, run like Joseph away from that wrong, just heresy of life. Because it is easy. In fact, I would say to you, and even caution new Christians, of why it's important to get plugged into a face-to-face local church, is because once you get saved, you pop up on the devil's radar. You pop up as going, I am someone who's in with Jesus. I'm going to celebrate this publicly with baptism, and I'm going to live my life. I'm going to run my business. I'm going to run my house. I'm going to serve my business. I'm going to serve my house in the Lord's name. And he's going to turn that heat up on the outside. But remember, we talked about joy. Joy in trials, joy in faith, joy because Jesus is on the way. Let's